My name is Marty. I'm an actor. I think I need to call my accent coach. I have an audition for a production of The Christmas Carol where I would play Bob Cratchit. So I need to master a Cockney accent, and I think it's best that I give my friend Paige a call.
Hi, Marty.
Hi, I am back.
So you have another...
I have, yes, another audition, and if you could believe it, it's today again.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're doing Christmas Carol. Yes, Bob Cratchit, and the director has specified they want Cockney.
Okay.
Yeah, and you
All
can
right.
help me.
I can.
I hope.
I can
yes.
indeed.
Okay.
We're skipping over a step in doing Cockney. We're not starting with standard British because Cockney is really working class Londoners.
Okay.
And so it's a different socioeconomic accent, if you want to call it that. Let me ask you, do you have any history with British, English, any over there?
What I can say is this. I have played the role of Bob Cratchit at the ripe age of 16.
A married man with
So
children.
rumor has it I, have experience with this accent, but I can't imagine it was very well put together.
All right. 6 hours, we'll get it done.
Easy peasy.
Dialect boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Here we go.
And how did little Tim behave?
As good as gold, and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much, and he thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me coming home that he hoped that people saw him in the church because he was a crippo, and it might be pleasant to them to remember, upon Christmas Day, who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Good. It's actually, you've got a few sounds in there that are already correct.
A few is better than none.
And then we've got a lot that need to change.
Okay.
So what we
Very
need
good.
to do is work bit by bit.
Here we go.
So here we have a scene in A Christmas Carol.
Okay.
So let's listen.
Okay.
Very well, then. Who's the worst for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, indeed.
So I can honestly barely even understand what they're saying.
We'll work on this accent, just as actors should, to be clear for the job that they're going to do.
Okay.
In other words, it will be Cockney, you're going to work toward that, but the goal is really to be understood.
If he wanted to keep him after he was dead, why wasn't he amiable in his lifetime?
Okay, so this is a clip from Mary Poppins.
The best.
Yes.
Sweet.
Except lovely Dick Van Dyke, as we all know and love him, really bad example of Cockney.
Okay.
But I want you to hear why.
Okay.
He's taken a lot of guff for this.
That there is what you might call a door.
So did you hear him say the word there?
Yeah.
He said, that there.
That there.
That there.
That there.
So he put a hard R, automatically, that's sounding American.
When there's hardly no day, nor hardly no night.
So you heard an H in the first hardly?
Yes.
And then he took it out in the second one.
Yes.
There's hardly no.
We will drop H's, which we'll
Completely.
talk about too.
On the rooftops of London.
So rooftops.
Rooftops.
Tops is a vowel we'll talk about as well. He opened it up, placed it in the back of the mouth, and that's very American. It's inconsistent. He's hitting a lot of the sounds that are correct for Cockney, and then all of a sudden there's a word that pops out. So this is Legend with Tom Hardy playing two roles, and he's using an authentic Cockney accent in this.
Look at that. Full of iron, that is. It takes a while, that does, to settle.
Well, Charlie Richardson said we're to knock the granny out of you, Reg.
This is the epitome of really good accent work. Now, if you really listen to Tom Hardy, you'll hear that he's not using his T's.
Go on, let him in, he's only little.
He'll say a little bit and things like that, so just listen for those sounds.
Oh, yeah, he did he? That's good of him. Right, listen. When you see him next, you tell him from me, that I say, fuck Charlie, right? And fuck his brother, yeah?
So you can hear a lot of wonderful F-bombs in this film.
I love that.
But he's not finishing words at times.
We've got one bloke harping on about trust, don't you?
Uses glottal sounds.
There's another bloke there, right, with his Hampton in his hand.
It's a big part of it.
So I have a question for you, actually.
Yes.
A wise woman once told me, when learning an accent, it's best to pick one person.
Yes.
Would you say he's a good ticket in?
I would say he is absolutely authentic.
Okay.
If you're working with someone who's saying, yes, but we've got to make it more clear, we could probably go toward Michael Caine.
Okay.
Because he has Cockney, but you don't miss a word.
You squeezed them, you hammered them to the point of desperation. And in their desperation, they turned to a man they didn't fully understand.
There's still a little bit of keeping the mouth closed. It's a little sloppy, but you understand him, yes?
Yeah.
And clearly they're different people. He's playing a butler. It's accurate, of course, because he's from there.
Yeah.
So we can't really critique Michael Caine too
Right.
much, can we? Listen a little more.
With respect, Master Wayne, perhaps this is a man you don't fully understand either.
You hear that? You don't fully understand either.
You don't fully understand either.
And he's using good musicality.
Well, because he thought it was good sport, because some men aren't looking for anything logical.
You hear his voice, you get the words.
Yeah. I like him.
I think it's a good choice to
Watch
use
him.
as a guide.
Yeah.
So the first thing is what we call the ask list. It's a list of words that change from our a sound to ah. So it's going to be ask,
Path.
but think back of the mouth, like ask, path, dance.
Dance.
That's it.
All right.
So the next sound, and this is going to be a really important one, it's the ah sound in the word not. So I want you to think right here around the lips. Not,
Not.
on, want.
Want.
And I'm dropping the T, which I'll describe. On, want, for the word want.
What? Oh, I was going to say, what do we
Right?
just say?
Exactly.
Okay.
I think you have the word Bob, like Bob Cratchit. You may not have to say it, but his name is
be
a
it.
good example of this vowel. So instead of Bob, Bob.
Bob.
There you go.
Bob.
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 Bob Cratchit.
Bob Gretchen.
Not,
Not.
want,
Want.
on,
On.
off.
Off.
Not, want, on,
Not. Want. On.
upon.
Upon.
There you go.
Thanks.
So I want you to think of this next vowel sound almost like you have a straw in your mouth and you're trying to keep it in your mouth. Ooh.
Ooh.
That's right. So that would be in words like saw,
Saw.
saw.
So.
How different is
Oh,
that for you?
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So other words like talk would be talk.
Talk.
So we've really moved from back to front.
Talk.
Thoughtful.
Thoughtful.
Saw.
Saw.
Walk.
Walk.
Because.
Because.
Thoughtful. Saw. Walk.
Thoughtful. Saw. Walk.
Saw.
Saw.
Saw him.
Saw him. Thoughtful. Saw. Walk.
Because.
Because.
Good. The E and oo vowels that we know very well,
Like.
with like we and
Oh, sure.
you, okay?
Okay.
What we're going to do is have what is called an on glide. In layman's terms, I would call it kind of scooping up to the
Thank
sound.
you.
And here's what I mean. Instead of saying we, me, see with just one shape, we're going to kind of put a vowel before it, and it'll feel like an e, e.
We.
Can you hear? Good. Do it again.
Oh my God.
I know.
Blowing myself away. We.
That's great.
Oh my God.
So when you it's called an on glide, so you can be
On-glide.
the
Gorgeous.
man in the know. Now we would do the same thing with the oo vowel. You.
You.
Really good.
It's like,
Who?
am I Cockney? Who?
That's what we're going to say about you.
Yes.
E,
E.
me,
Me.
people,
People.
B,
B.
C.
C.
You,
You.
oo,
Ooh.
move,
Move.
soon.
Soon.
You, oo, move.
You. Oh. Move.
That's right. Very good.
What was the middle word?
Oo, like who.
Oh, okay. I
Right?
see. As good as gold and better. As good as gold and better. 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 Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. Thoughtful. And he thinks the strangest things you ever heard. And thinks the strangest things you ever heard. Things you ever heard. You ever heard.
That's better.
Thanks.
This is probably what you would recognize as one of the more stereotypical Cockney sounds. It's the A as in page, right?
Page.
Day, great, name. So say this for me just the way you would.
Day. Great. Name.
Okay. What we're going to do and this is very forward in the mouth, drop the jaw, open it up, and it may sound very similar to I. So instead of saying say, today, great, say.
Sigh.
So you're thinking
Today.
I.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean?
Page.
Yes. We're going to overdo it for now.
Okay.
I think it's really important to let's go over the top.
Let's go for it.
Easy to pull it back.
Okay.
So you have the word strangest.
Strangest.
Yes. You
Wow.
did it.
Wow.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
There you go,
Wow.
Bob.
Bob?
Bob Cratchit.
Right.
Strangest day made.
Strangest day made.
Lame.
Lame.
Strangest day made lame.
Strangest day made lame.
Made.
Made.
Very good.
Thank you.
So the next sound is another diphthong. It's the ow, like in now. Again, we're going to put it right here around the lips. Ow.
Ow.
And you could try to almost put the voice into the mask a little bit and close the mouth more so you get ow.
Ow. Ow.
It's kind of a harsh sound.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
So down.
Down.
You don't want to round it at all. Real flat. Down.
Down.
Now you wanted to go down.
Yeah, I'm like
with your eyes.
getting it really up in there.
It's really tricky. Ow.
Ow.
That's it.
Somehow. Yeah? Somehow.
Better.
Okay.
Better. It's a tricky one.
That's
right?
a hard. I
Yeah.
can confidently say I don't like this one.
Ow.
Ow.
Round.
Round.
Now round house.
Now round house.
Can you think ah when you do this? The vowel ah, like in
Now.
hat? Nah.
Nah.
Yes. Now.
Now.
There you go.
Now.
And then you changed it.
I went right back.
We're going to do what is called glottalizing. And I know, another speech term.
Yikes.
You're creating a T in the throat. So might becomes might.
Might. Oh, I see that.
You just
Well, I
created
feel that
what is
more.
called a glottal stop. That's right, you did it. Like a word like bottle, it would be
Bottle.
bottle. That's right. Or a word like water, it would be water.
Water.
That's glottalization of
Water.
a T.
Okay.
And that's the case here with blind. I know that's a D, but
Blind.
sometimes they even glottalize that.
Blind.
Might,
Might.
blind,
Line.
yeah. You can
Oh.
just let it go.
Forget it.
Better sitting, thoughtful.
Better sitting thoughtful.
Now this next consonant is another stereotypical Cockney change. THs. Some people, when they use the really heavy Cockney, change the TH to an F or a V. We're going to go thoughtful.
Thoughtful.
Here's a voice TH. You've got the word that
That.
and the word them. So let's replace that th with a voiced v. So that,
That.
the, them.
Them. That feels better to me than the thoughtful.
Let's go really slowly. That.
That.
So you're putting a V in the T for the TH and glottalizing the T. That.
That yoked. The people saw him in the church. Okay, not bad.
Not bad. That, the, them.
That, the, them. That, the. Will you say them again?
That, the, them.
That, the, them.
Thoughtful thinks things.
Thoughtful thinks things.
Very good. And how did little Tim behave?
As good as gold. And better. And better. And better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. And he thinks the strangest things you ever heard. And thinks the strangest things you ever heard. And thinks the strangest things you ever heard. Blind
Really,
is
you've
here.
come so far.
Well, thank
in
you.
Such a short amount of time.
Thanks for joining me on this ride.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a great time.
Well. Hi, I'm Marty Miller, and I will be reading for the role of Bob Cratchit. As good as gold, and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me, coming home, that he hoped that people saw him in church because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant for them to remember, upon Christmas Day, who made lame beggars walk and blind men see. Thank you. As good as gold, and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you ever heard.
He sounds like an Eastern European with a very good English accent.
As good as gold, and better.
Okay, so he's gone as good as gold and better. But he's gone as good as gold and better.
Good as gold and better. No, better. Good as gold and better.
Can you hear the difference? It rolls.
If I were to guess at what people would say, that they would just notice the accent.
He told me, coming home, that he hoped that people...
He hopes. So he's over-exaggerated the O on hopes. He's dropped the H, but he's gone... But we would just say he hopes, not hopes with the exaggeration at the beginning of the O.
That can sound like you're working on an accent. Always needs to kind of flow a little bit better like this and kind of move around a bit like that, you know.
I would probably give him 7.5.
No, listen, I'd give him about 6, am I? Not being horrible.
Time is needed, but yeah, I think 7.5 is probably fair.
You know, he's had a couple of hours, he's an American, but I can see that he's really keen to pull this off.
Let's be fair, that was good one day, yeah, sorry, it was good, yeah. Doesn't mean it come across like Simon Cowell.
I think that both of our languages are obviously the same, but our accents are so different, even within America, and forget it when you come to England, and let alone the rest of the country. Sometimes I can't understand Scottish people.
Where are you from, Ellen? New York? Get out of here.